Sharife Cooper was one of the top point guards in high school basketball last season. Not only that, he's a fan favorite. Everyone loves this guy. I think the main reason everyone loves him is because he's relatable, kind of similar to Steph Curry when he was growing up. He's not an overpowering and athletic player. Do not get it twisted. Yes, Steph Curry and Sharife Cooper are athletic, but not as much as other players. The reason they're relatable is because they give kids hope, because they're showing and proving that you don't have to be 6'7" or even a 7-footer to be a star. When he was in high school, Cooper was only roughly 6 foot and 160 pounds, but that didn't stop him because he was still one of the top players. Now with all that being said, it leads me into the main point of this video, and that's what Sharife Cooper's doing at Auburn. In high school, he was nothing short of a star. He averaged 30 points per game, 10 assists, and the stats go on and on. Here's the thing though, in high school you can get away with being an undersized player and still dominate the competition. We see it all the time with all these hoop mixtape legends. They're undersized point guards and they dominate and average 30 to even 35 points per game. But ultimately in the long run, those flashy points and stuff like that don't translate over to the college and even the NBA level. The more you level up and climb up in the basketball chain at the college and even the NBA level, it's more about how talented you are, not necessarily your skills. You guys can say what you want, but a 6'5" point guard who has the same skill set of a 5'3" point guard, he's gonna make it over him. Once you start talking about making it to the NBA, it's all about your physical appearance. That also leads me to my next point. If you think about it, there's not too many skinny people in the NBA, and the ones that are skinny, keep in mind they're really tall, so they get to offset that. So basically what I'm trying to get to and say is if you're going to be an undersized point guard, you can't be skinny and you got to be built. And as much as I love this kid, he doesn't have that necessarily NBA body build. Heading into Auburn, he was listed at roughly 6 foot and 160 to 165 pounds. Look, I don't care if he averaged 55 points per game in high school. Those physical stats right there, they don't really appeal to GMs. Do you guys even understand how many 6 foot 165 pound point guards there are at the college level? They're a dime a dozen. You can find one anywhere. What these NBA scouts are looking for is the next great star. We're talking about 6'4" to 6'5". And if you're not going to be that tall, you got to be very skilled. And I'm not sure if someone told him about these stats and the probabilities of him making it if he doesn't hit the weight room, but regardless, he started hitting the weight room at Auburn as soon as he got there, and he's seen major changes. For a guy who was relatively small and skinny at the high school level, he's now looking really muscular and toned. And a lot of that credit and success has to go with the Auburn weight room program and Sharife himself. He's been going extremely hard in his workouts and putting in countless hours of work, and it's finally paying off. If you don't listen to another thing I say in this video, just listen to this. Before he got to Auburn, he officially weighed 165 pounds. But as of right now, unbelievably, he stands at 6 foot, weighing 181 pounds. The staff and trainers at Auburn have said he's put on nearly 8 to 12 pounds of muscle. And if you guys can't do basic math, he's basically put on 16 more pounds of weight. His body transformation has been unreal, and it's kind of similar to Jalen Green that we just made a video on. Before we go any farther, we just gotta give our props to Jalen Green and Sharife Cooper. They're putting in that work. Nobody's really talking about Sharife Cooper and this body transformation for one simple point, because we haven't seen him play basketball or seen him on TV yet. I'm not gonna go as too far as you saying he looks like a different person out there, but you can tell he's put on some weight. And no, not weight in a bad way, but in a good way, because he kind of looks like a different point guard out there. He's more built, and he's finally filling out his body and looking like a Division I point guard. Standing at 6 foot and 180 pounds roughly, that's a pretty solid build. And if you follow him on Instagram, you've probably taken notice of this because he's been posting pictures about him working hard. And I think he fits that Auburn and Bruce Pearl type of play style so perfectly. They're up tempo, they shoot a lot of threes, and they play fast, and that's very similar to his play style. Before he got to Auburn, I wasn't sold on him being a one and done or even a 2-year and done type of player. It had nothing to do with his talent and ability, because we all know this kid can hoop. The only thing I was worried about, and a lot of NBA scouts and analysts were worried about, was his weight and, you know, his body structure. But just seeing the progress and looking at how far he's come, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a one and done type of player. Will that happen? I have no idea, because college basketball players are so tricky. High school stars going into college are normally either a one and done or there for 4 years and just fold and never meet the expectations. I think Cooper has a bright future, and he's one of the hardest workers out there, so I could not see them folding under the pressure. The SEC basketball and competition is much more difficult than high school competition, so we will really get to see what he's made of. He's already put on 16 pounds of weight, and he's going to be at Auburn for a full year, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got up to 190. I know I said it, but I gotta say it again. It's just unreal how much him and Jalen Green have just filled out their bodies and gotten ready for the next level. I'm interested in what you guys think. Do you think he's a one and done type of player? Do you think putting on this weight's good for him? Or, you know, what do you think about him? Drop a comment down below. He's definitely been one of my favorite high school players, and I love watching him, so of course I'm going to keep up with him at Auburn. I'm wishing him and his family the best best of luck, and I hope he continues to see a lot of success in his basketball career, and I'm sure he will. But hey man, with all this being said, that's about gonna wrap up this video. I hope you boys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button, and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.